Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for Fear the Walking Dead. After the big trailer for the final batch of episodes of the series, we're going to talk about Dwight and Sherry's plot of them going back to the sanctuary and potentially set up for Dead City. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for Fear the Walking Dead. After the Season 8 B trailer that it released the other day, we now have a lot of new things to go over for Fear. It's been a while since we've done this many consistent Fear the Walking Dead videos, but again, we haven't really had all that much Fear stuff to talk about, and of course we have Daryl Dixon on right now. But I wanted to do this one because this one is very heavy in the trailer, which is the sanctuary scenes, and some of the new clips that we have of Dwight, Sherry, and surprisingly June in the sanctuary location. So I want to discuss some of the stuff that we did get and talk about where I think it's overall going to go. Now, I do think we're going to get its own episode. Like, I think we're going to get a very Dwight and Sherry focused episode. I don't know if it's going to be episodes 9, 10, probably around there, but I feel like they're going to get their own bottle episode at the sanctuary. Or at least, like 80% of it is going to be with Dwight, because I feel like they're going to want to focus in on what's going on with him. We're going back to an old Walking Dead location, and when we did it in the first half of Season 8 with Morgan going back to King County, we pretty much stayed in that location the whole episode, right? So I'd assume that they're going to do the same thing with this one. And like I said, I think it's going to be episode 9 or 10. Which will be very interesting. Now, I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I think that this will be an episode that either sets up Sherry's death, or they're going to kill Sherry in this episode. But I more so think it's going to set up her death, mostly because of the reason that the actress for Sherry did confirm on WonderCon earlier this year when she was on the panel that she was there for the final day of filming. So she kind of let it slip, you know what I mean? But in terms of, Sherry, I still think that she's going to die. I still am going to go with that prediction. I just don't know how they're going to have her live, to be honest. And here's the thing. There are a lot of rumors going on right now that Dwight potentially will leave Fear the Walking Dead and go to Dead City. Now, we don't have any sources to back up that information. It's just speculation at the moment. But a lot of people are thinking that they're going to bring Dwight into Dead City, and that's how Dwight's character will go on forward. Because we do know that based off of what we've heard, there is a character that is going to be set up to go into another spinoff at the end of Fear the Walking Dead. And we don't know who that is yet. We have no idea who that character is. We're going to have to, just watch and find out. But I would not be surprised at all if Dwight did go to Dead City. And here's the thing. Sherry going to Dead City probably would not work, because if she saw Negan, she would try to kill him, you know what I mean? Whereas with Dwight, yeah, Dwight would have some conflict with him, but I feel like there's some interactions to be had there, to be honest. And I think that, especially since Dead City is very focused on the saviors, it's a very savior-heavy show, I would not be surprised if they brought in Dwight, you know what I mean? Because they brought in Simon for the flashbacks, they've mentioned a lot of other saviors in this show. We're learning a lot about what Negan was like when he was running the saviors back in, the early days of Walking Dead before he ran into Rick's crew. And Dead City is a very savior-focused series, right? So I would not be surprised if Dwight did show up in Dead City. Absolutely. And I would also not be surprised if he showed up in Dead City and he was rather broken, right? Maybe it's a few years later, because we know that Dead City takes place a few years later in the timeline. So maybe it's been a few years and Dwight has lost Sherry and he's lost his kid and he's, completely broken, right? I mean, who knows? I don't like the idea of Sherry dying for that simple reason, because I think that Sherry should survive. I think Dwight at least deserves a little bit of happiness somewhere, right? Especially since they've already lost their son. I just don't like the idea of Sherry dying. But overall in this episode now, what can we kind of say about it in terms of some of the new clips we got? So we do see a clip of Dwight and Sherry. They're opening a door, which is very odd. The door is like inside the furnace that they were at in the sanctuary. So I did not know that you could walk into a furnace like that. I'm not sure what the hell's going on there. I do not remember a door being there at all, because I've literally gone back to some of the old episodes, and if I look at the Walking Dead version, I don't see a door in that furnace at all. I did not know that there was a hallway or whatever in that furnace. So I'm assuming it goes underground or something. But anyway, that's just a small detail that I found kind of interesting because I do not remember seeing a door in that furnace in the original Walking Dead. Although it wouldn't shock me because King County wasn't 100% accurate either, right? And I know for a fact this is a rebuild, right? Although I will say this, the rest of the sanctuary, aside from that one little detail, the rest looks really spot on so far. I mean, it's very destroyed looking, just like our group left it in season 9, episode 16. And, overall, the setting of it looks really, really good. It looks 100% what it would look like after all these years. Now, another location that we also get to see in this one is Dwight's old house, which I think is really interesting. And I think the biggest thing we were all kind of thrown off about is that June does have an involvement in this episode, which I'm not really sure how she could fit in. I don't necessarily think that June is going to die. I feel like June is a character that's going to survive the show. She's a Dory. She's the last Dory we have. I don't really see them killing her off. But it's an interesting decision that she's here. And I'm not going to lie, when I saw June here, I kind of got to thinking, I was like, okay, well, could we potentially get Troy at the sanctuary? I mean, I'm just saying, that would be one of the greatest things ever, is that Troy is hunting down our group, and he stumbles upon the sanctuary with Dwight and the others in it, And maybe Dwight even, sees, an old iron or something, and, they actually, use the iron or something, bash one of Troy's, men in or something, in the head or something. I don't know. Something cool like that. Maybe Dwight uses an iron that's left, and he friggin' bashes one of their heads in with it. That would be absolutely amazing. Because I feel like there's gonna be a lot of callbacks like that. Maybe Dwight uses the iron, bashes in one of Troy's men or something. Maybe some cool walkers, maybe some familiar walkers of characters that maybe have not been put down or something. I don't know. But that would be really cool. In terms of just that, overall idea for an episode, I think it sounds amazing. I'm very curious to see how it's handled. Like I said, I don't think Sherry herself will be dead in this episode, but I do think we are going to get the death of Sherry in the series finale. I do think she'll die in this show, unfortunately. I don't want her to die. I think it's a terrible writing idea, to be honest, but I do see them doing it, to be honest. And I do see Dwight being the character to go to Dead City. I do. You might call me nuts now, but I'm telling you right now, they're going to find a way to incorporate him into Dead City. Because it's the logical thing to do, right? I mean, honestly. Now, what would I prefer for Dwight and Sherry? Well, I would prefer, and this is how I would wish that things would go, is that at the end of the series, they're able to live peacefully in Padre. Maybe even Alicia has come back or something, you know what I mean? And she's had a reunion with her mother. And we see during a montage that Dwight and Sherry have had another kid. Maybe it's been a couple years or something. They've had another kid. This time they have a daughter, right? And maybe they name her, Tina, right? After what's her name from season 6, episode 6 of the main show. And they've had a kid, and Dwight basically is out there, kind of exploring, trying to, find new people to bring into Padre while Sherry stays home with the kid. Dwight's going out there for a little bit, and then eventually he goes to New York, and, he runs into Negan and Maggie. I mean, I know it sounds insane, but it's not more insane than Daryl going to France all of a sudden on a little boat from Spain to France. So I'm telling you right now, it's not that insane. It really isn't. So I think that, in my opinion, would be the ideal way to do it. Sherry survives. They're living peacefully in Padre. Sherry's had another kid, names her Tina. And Dwight is, maybe with along a few others, is a recruiter for Padre to bring people in. And maybe he ventures out a good ways through, right? Maybe he even gets evidence that Negan is running New York. Maybe he gets that information and he's like, you know what? I'm going to go finish this. I'm going to go finish this bastard right now, I'm telling you, it's such a genius story. I really hope they do it. I really, really hope they do it because it would be absolutely amazing. And, you might say, well, Dan, wouldn't that technically mean that Dwight's character is cliffhangered on Fear? Isn't that kind of trash? Well, they cliffhangered Rick Grimes on The Walking Dead, so no, it's not trash. I really don't care if they cliffhanger Dwight on Fear. As long as they do it right, and then they send him to Dead City, you keep Sherry, on Fear. Maybe she can cameo on Dead City later on, but I don't know. I think that would be a really, really amazing thing to do. But overall, those are some updated thoughts on some of the new information we have on the Dwight and Sherry episode. Like I said, I think it's going to be a full episode, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm really excited to see what they do with those two. Again, I will say, please don't kill Sherry. You will piss me off if you do that, Fear. Please keep her alive. And please, if you know what's good for you, send Dwight to Dead City. That to me would be absolutely amazing. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, guys, and you enjoy this video, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos for The Walking Dead. Make sure to follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead reviews on Instagram, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos for Fear of the Walking Dead. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.